Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show, where I am Damien Farr, host of the Farr Show, and I'm proud to present to you tonight where we're talking about The Incredibles and Brad Bird's filmography. So thank you for tuning in. Let's start off with Incredibles 2 right away, because that's the most important one. That's the one that just came out. So what do I think about this film? Well, overall, I think it's a great film. I feel there's a lot of room for improvement, though, at the same time. But I feel it's, there's been a lot improved upon, if that makes any sense. Like it's just a great movie overall, but it's not as good as the first, to be honest. The first one is here in my book, and this one's here. Though if you watch them back to back, you might not even notice they're two different films, other than the title sequence part and a little bit of animation improvements over time. So really, why do I not think this is as good as the first one? Well, I don't think the villain's as good, because the twist, spoiler alert, there is a twist, is just so blatantly obvious. But it's also a kids movie, so that makes sense. It's just wow, I saw that coming. I even nodded to my buddy at the movie. I went over, looked at him, and said, "It's totally that person." And he's like, "Yeah." So it's a kids movie. I should have expected it. The villain isn't as enticing, because what did they want? I feel like the Underminer would have been a better villain overall, but that is just me. The Underminer was only used at the beginning to follow up from the first movie, which is fine, I guess. Hopefully he's in Incredibles 3, if there ever is an Incredibles 3. Then we're going to go to other Brad Bird films, which The Iron Giant is a great film. Where, what do I have to say about this film? Well, The Iron Giant is an Farr, while Incredibles 2 is an FAR. So The Iron Giant is probably my favorite Brad Bird movie. Sorry, Incredibles 1. I just love the chemistry between Hogarth and the Giant. I love how the Giant is intended to be a weapon, but he doesn't want to hurt anybody, really. The deer scene where he's poking at the deer because he thought he killed it, which I don't remember. I think he did, but that's not important. I just love that scene. It shows the emotion in his eyes and how he's saddened that he hurt something, which is great. I love the emotion from the Iron Giant. I love the emotion from Hogarth. I still wish I had the toy that came with the VHS that was that big, though. It's about the size of the mic, which is unfortunate. So really, I think The Iron Giant is one of those movies you have to see before you die. If you like a story where there's there's comedy in it, but the backdrop, the world that it's built in, is just a small USA town. I love it. So then The Incredibles. What is there to say about The Incredibles that has not been said? Well, The Incredibles is probably Brad Bird's best overall movie. This is coming from a guy who loves The Iron Giant. Love The Iron Giant, but it had some pacing issues here and there, which is fine. Love that movie still. The Incredibles is The Iron Giant 2.0, in a way. It's also the Fantastic Four 2.0, because it's pretty much the Fantastic Four, which is done well on screen, which is great. So, what is great about The Incredibles? Well, the villain is 10 times better than Incredibles 2. The villain, I love the villain plot, which is just, he's a kid who looks up to Mr. Incredible. He wants to be a sidekick. Mr. Incredible continuously says, "I work alone," and the kid gets discouraged and becomes a supervillain. It's simple, but it's really effective. You feel for the kid a bit. Even at the end when he's a supervillain, you feel for him a bit, because it's wow, this all could have been avoided. In a way, I think about it like this. Mr. Incredible created the villain of the movie, which is true. He definitely created the villain. If you would have just let him be a sidekick, he probably wouldn't have become a villain. I love the movie Farr. So continuing off, we're Ratatouille. I have not seen it. I don't plan on seeing it. It's just the idea of a mouse. I think it's a mouse. Or a rat, really. A rat helping a guy cook by controlling him through his hair just seems really weird to me, and I don't plan on seeing it. If you like the movie, it's all personal preference once again. If you like the movie, more power to you. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I actually really want to see this movie. I have not seen any of the Mission Impossible movies. I hope to see all of them one day. Maybe after this new one comes out, I hope to see them all. Pretty similar in my mind to Jason Bourne, how I want to see all those movies. So, this is the one where Brad Bird hits a miss here. He's like aiming for a home run, but he has been hitting home runs lately, and he doesn't really hit a home run. Tomorrowland with George Clooney. Don't know anything about this movie. I just gather that it's like futuristic Disney World in a way, which probably is nothing like the actual plot, because I did not look up the plot of the movie, and I don't really want to, because I'd like to see the movie for some reason. I don't know. Just something about George Clooney and Brad Bird working together seems pretty cool, actually. So, what do you think of Brad Bird's films? Well, I think personally, Steven Spielberg is like a here. I'd say James Cameron's kind of like here. Christopher Nolan, I'd say he's a little under Christopher Nolan level. Like, he's great, but Christopher Nolan is like an internet darling at this point with his films, and I think most of his films are fantastic. So, what do you think of Brad Bird? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.